and letting go of that which has been, letting go of any expectations, taking a moment to find your body here on the ground. And if there are ways that you might move to make yourself feel a little more at ease, do that now. We'll be working our way through that throughout the practice. And as you arrive here, just take a breath in and let it go. And inhale. And exhale. One more like that, inhaling. And exhaling. Use this moment to tune into what you're appreciative in your life and about yourself. Those things that enabled you to be here today on this mat. Maybe it's a healthy body. Maybe it's a supportive family. Maybe it's your own willpower. Go ahead and reach your arms overhead and interlace your fingers and just breathe into that appreciation. Reach out through your heels and draw your legs together and lengthen long through your body. From palms down through soles of feet. And then point your toes and steeple finger your hands. So your index finger is pointing long and your toes are reaching away from your steeple fingers. And then switch the clasp of the hands. And again, once again, reach out through your heels, lengthen long and reach out through your palms. And this time, just reach out through the right side, arm and leg. And then reach out, still clasped through the left side, arm and leg. And steeple finger, again, your palms, your hands, and point your toes once again. And reach out through that right side, lengthening through the ankle and the front of the hip, the belly, the waistline, the rib cage, the arm. And then reach out through the left side. Long, long, long. See if you can squeeze your belly in to get even longer through the front of the belly and even front of the hip. Beautiful. Coming back to center. And let's walk the legs over to the left. And arms are still above the head and reach them also over to the left. So you've got this nice banana shape to your body. Take your left hand to your right wrist and give that right wrist and arm a little tug. And then turn your right toes over toward the left and bring your left heel to the outside edge of your right foot, the pinky side. So you're getting a little side stretch here. And make this good for you. Back off or dive deeper. Be sure to take a breath or two. Finding again those centering breaths, those rounds of appreciation for getting you here today. One more breath, reaching out through that right side, all the way from outer foot through fingertips. And release. And find your way just with the feet to the floor and just windshield wiper gently, legs side to side. And then we'll take this on over to the other side. Legs stretch out, legs together, legs walk over to the right, arms reach overhead, and walk over to the right as well. Right hand takes left wrist. Just give a tug there. You might feel this all the way even from your hip even, you never know. Maybe along the waistline or the rib cage with this pull. Turn left toes to the right, right heel to outer left foot, and stretch. Squeeze your belly in for a little extra lengthening support. And we'll find our way back to center. Feet come to the mat and windshield wiper side to side. And then let your knees land over to the right and gaze over to the left. Left arm extended out. And twist. And if there's room for you, you can sweep your arm all the way from above your head and then all the way down toward your hip. And just take that sweep a couple times, sweeping up and then sweeping down. Follow with your breath. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, sweep down. We'll just take one more sweep up and pause there, reaching out through those fingers. And come on back to center and hug knees in and just circle, hands to knees, circle out those knees. And we'll land when you're ready, knees over to the left, arms over to the right, or right arm over to the right, gaze over to the right, and twist. Let your jaw soften. Let the skin of your face go soft. Come back to those big breaths. And if there's space, sweeping, arm high and low with breath. So inhale, arm sweeps high. Exhale, arm sweeps low. Knees are still moving nice and deep to the left. Inhale, arm sweeps high. And pause any place that you want, but keep the movement going if it feels nice. Inhaling, sweep high. Exhale, sweep low. And this time just land the arm high, reach it, reach it, reach it. Stretch, spread. And come on back to center and hands come again to those knees and take a circle. And then we'll circle the ankles and lift the legs to the sky. Keep circling those ankles. Give a little shake out to those ankles and then a kick to the heels, to the butt. And just let the legs shake and release any tension that you can right now. Get vigorous with it or be really gentle. And then we'll rock and roll up and down the length of the spine. So if this is not for you, just we'll meet on all fours. So just take a few rocks and rolls up and down the length of spine if possible. Meeting on all fours. And right away, come into your cats and cows. Today have your toes curled under, so we'll focus a little more on those feet as we come into cats and cows. So inhale, belly drops, chin lifts, gaze lifts, tail lifts. Exhale, press into those balls of the feet as you round and drop the head and drop the tail and squeeze the belly. And just move with it. Inhale, opening front body, spreading those toes. Exhale, rounding, dropping the chin to the chest, opening up the space between the shoulders and the low back. A few more rounds in and out. Going at your own pacing. One more round. And the toes are curled under. Just walk your hips back to your heels for a quick toes pose. So hips come to heels. You're opening up the soles of the feet. If you can sit your hips down on those heels, that's great. If you can't, don't worry. If you can't do this pose, don't do it. Just take a couple circles out to those shoulders. And make it bigger with the elbows leading the way. Let your head move about with this a little bit. And then go ahead and take some nice swims with the arms back and let your gaze go high. Still in toes pose if you're able. Meet with the hands clasped behind. Open, broaden the chest, drop the shoulders, bloom the heart. Hands walk away from the back. Draw your belly in. Take one more breath here in this pose. And then we'll release, hands come to the mat and tap, tap, tap the tops of the feet. Lengthen the right leg back behind you. Reach the left arm forward. Circle out wrist and ankle. And circle in both directions. Let your gaze go down so the back of the neck stays long. Take a big breath in and reach long, long, long through the arm and leg. Inhale. And exhale, round and squeeze in. Inhale, reach out. We're going to bend the right knee and reach back for the right foot with the left hand and open the front of that right thigh hip. And just stay with the breath. Stay with what's possible. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the eyes if you can. One more breath. Reach out long, arm and leg. Left hand comes down, right foot comes down. Right arm rises skyward and lean back. And then take a wide circle with that right arm. You can follow it with your eyes. Circling in both directions. Let this open up some breath in your upper chest. And then spread the right fingers forward and the right leg back and open up through that whole right side. And if you like, float your right leg up into space. Lengthening, lengthening, lengthening through arm and leg. If it feels good, bend your right knee and reach again for that right foot. With this time your right hand. And open up the front of that hip, open up your chest. Choose your gaze. One more breath. And return back to all fours and just move it around any way that your body wants. Your body will lead the way and tell you. Let your spine be heard. Say hello to the way it moves, all the ways. Front, back, side, rotations, length. Take a breath in and out. Take a nice sigh. Make some sound. And come back to neutral. And we'll reach the left leg back behind and the right arm forward. And draw your belly in. Circle out that wrist and ankle both directions. Take a moment to really extend beyond yourself, beyond the physical body, reaching out beyond yourself. Take a breath. Exhale, round in, squeeze in, draw it in, all to center. Extend out. Bend left knee, reach back for left ankle with right foot, with right hand. And take this to your degree. Lift that thigh, open up the hip, open up the chest. Open up your throat if it feels good for you. Find the gaze that feels right for your neck and throat. Last breath. Breathe into it. Extend long. Left foot comes down, right hand comes down. Left arm opens up, swing it wide, and just lean back, and then take it into a big wide circle. Big windmill circle with the right arm, following with eyes. Really let this invite some spaciousness into your chest, back, circle in both directions, into the neck, some spaciousness. And then lengthen your left arm above, or reaching forward, and spread your left leg back and open up that left side body. And if it feels good and right, lift the left leg into space, parallel to the floor. And last step, if it feels good, bend the knee, reach for the ankle. Take it to your degree, anywhere that is. Breathing bigger and bigger as we go through this opening. Last breath. Your way, return back to all fours and just let it go. Maybe circle out the wrists a couple times. We're gonna make our way to downward facing dog. Tailbone leading the way, sitting bones leading the way. And just take your time arriving. Bend one knee and then the other. Get really juicy through the feet and the toes and the knees and the hips. See if you can make the connection from your feet all the way up to your hips. And then your hips all the way down that spine, down the crown of the head. Give your head a nod, yes. And shake out that head, no. And then go ahead, walk your feet together and really engage your kneecaps. Lift your kneecaps and your thighs up towards your hip creases. Spread your palms forward and draw your sitting bones high. Press your belly and chest back towards your thighs and just bend your knees a little bit. Roll your inner elbows forward, really engaging the thumb and index finger. And again, press your palms forward and draw your chest and belly back. Let's bend our knees a lot. And see if you can bring your belly and chest way back towards those thighs and open the armpits and shoulders. Inhale, straighten legs, come up on tippy toes, open all 10 toes. Spread palms forward, draw belly and chest back. Sitting bones lifting super high. Exhale, heels come down to or toward the floor, still sitting bones rising, palms pressing forward, inner elbows roll forward, belly and chest draw back. Nod your head yes again. And shake it out no. And reach your right leg on up to the sky. And bend the knee and roll your hip open. Press your right foot towards your left shoulder and really open up through the belly and that front of hip. Enjoy, inhale. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, tricep, shoulder. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, round it in, knee to nose. And let's step that right foot forward and sink down onto the left knee. Now, if you have blocks, find them. Bring them to either side of your mat. We're going to sink the hips deep. You can have the hands on the blocks or the front of your thigh. Sink those hips deep. Left hand stays down and right arm swings across, spreads open through the side body. Fingertips reaching, outer right hip dropping, rib cage opening, heart opening. One more breath. And let's switch it over to the other side. Right hand comes down. If you don't have blocks, hands could hover or be on floor. Left arm swings across, side bending. Feel this all the way from that left knee, right through the fingertips. Take one last breath. And then go ahead, come back to center and come on the ball of the left foot and come into a lunge. Just pausing here and just kind of rocking back and forth with it. Maybe you straighten your right leg a little bit and bend it. Just kind of rocking through the feet. You could even come up on the ball of the right foot, lifting the right heel. Just a couple rounds like this. And then pause. Right knee stays bent. Left hand comes down to block or floor. Right hand comes to sacrum at base of spine and twist. Turn towards your inner right thigh. Spread through your back heel, lengthen through crown of head. And take a moment to come into that breath and that awareness of appreciation of how you got here today. What brought you here? Maybe the right arm launches up like a big starburst. And if you would like, you can circle that right arm in that big windmill style. And then spread the right fingertips forward and lengthen the left heel back and spin your heart to the sky. One last breath. And release and straighten both legs and pull your hips back and bow your head. Keep a micro bend in the right knee if you need. And if you like, lift the right toes off the floor. A little more opening for the calf. Achilles tendon, sole of the foot. Bow the head, surrender. 3 breaths. Squeeze your belly in on each exhale, last breath. Before we come out of it, you're going to come on the ball of the right foot just for a little accent to lift the right heel, still in that lunge, and then step your way back strong, high plank, pause there. Lengthen heels back, reach forward through crown of head and breathe. Find your power, your inner power, your willpower, your physical strength, your mind power. 3 more breaths. How can you make this pose even better for yourself? 2 more breaths. Can you find your center? 1 more breath. Let's come all the way down to the belly. And go ahead and just we'll take a couple little lifts up. Hands are on right under shoulders and just little rises. Inhale, rise. Exhale, down. Inhale, rise, lengthen through those legs, lengthen through the fronts of the hips and through the belly. Exhale, down. 2 more. Inhale, rise, lengthen through those legs, fronts of hips, toes. Exhale, down. Last one, inhale, rise. Exhale, down. Bring your fingers wide now, claw fingers, and rise on up, a little bit higher maybe. Drop your right shoulder, gaze left, and lengthen through that right leg. Inhale, center, lift up. Exhale, left shoulder drops, gaze right, lengthen through the left leg. Inhale, rise. Right shoulder drops, gaze left, reach through right. Inhale, rise. Left shoulder drops, reach through left. Rise up 1 more time. And bring your forehead back down to the floor. Just take a moment, bend your knees, reach back for your feet. We're not going anywhere with it. But just take a minute to lengthen the front of the body. So the pubic bone and frontal hip bones press down. The thighs lengthen. Take one breath. Release the feet. Press on up, high plank. And then draw yourself back, downward facing dog, and just move it around your way. Do what you need to do. Take some sighs. They're always great, especially at the beginning of practice. Feet together. Left leg close to the sky. Bend the knee and roll your hip open. Really revel in how good this feels in your body, your being. Reach high. Left knee swings across to the right. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, squeeze it all in together. And then step your left foot forward, drop down onto your right knee, dip your hips nice and deep, opening the front of that right thigh. Left hand stays down, maybe to the floor or block. Right arm swings across, side bending. Opening up, right side body. Draw your belly in to support you here. And then swing it across to the other side. Right hand comes down, outer left hip drops, side bending. Whole side body opening up here. Last breath. Open the heart. Come on back through center. We'll go ahead and lift the back knee and just take a moment to just swing it back and forth. Couple rounds, just opening up through the foot, through the feet. Come up on the ball of that left foot. So you lift your left heel off the mat. Be playful with that, if it's possible. And then pause. Left knee stays bent. Stay on the ball of the right foot. Right hand stays down. Left hand comes to sacrum and spin. Extend through the back leg and lift the heart. And just take a big wide windmill twist, swing around if it feels good. Left arm extending forward, right heel drawing back. One more breath here. And we'll go ahead and straighten both legs and bow. Drop that head way down deep. Surrender. Surrender to your practice. Surrender to kindness for yourself and others. Come back to your center. Last breath. And we'll step back strong to the high plank and pause here. Reconnecting to strength. Opening the fronts of the hips, the backs of the hips, the sides and inner and outer sides of legs. One more breath. And just hovering this time, chaturanga, just above the earth. Find your version of an upward dog. Maybe the thighs are down, maybe they're floating off the ground. Take a breath, open the collarbones. And exhale, this time straight back, downward dog. Belly draws in strong. Big breath in, big breath out. Full pose. Bend your knees, look forward. Spring step or float to the front. Reach on out to flat back and take a nice deep bow. And bend your knees and let your head hang and find your ragdoll. And let your hands find a position that feels good. Maybe they're dangling, opposite hand to opposite elbow. What is the quality here of your practice today? How can you impart that to those you love? And of course yourself throughout the moments when we're not on our mats. Surrender a little further. Be with what is. And see what you can do to be with what is and work more and more and more towards the positive. Take hands to back of head or neck and just give a nice sweep. Tucking your chin. Perhaps massaging spaces and places that need it. Temples and jaw, shoulders. 2 more breaths. Just find the places that need your touch and your attention. Last breath in and then a big sigh out. So healing your feet together. Bending your knees and rounding your way up to standing. Reaching wide and high, gathering at the top. See if you can lift your thighs here. Really lift the front of the body right up through your pinky fingers and drop through your shoulder blades. Let's walk the fingertips along the ceiling and take a back bend, lifting your 10 toes, lifting your thighs, lifting the belly, lifting the heart, reaching through the pinkies. Maybe you haven't gone far, but feel the opening for the front body, breath in. And then exhale, gather right in the heart space. Let the eyes gaze down, the hands join the heart. Finding your center, letting go of that which does not serve. Toe heel your feet together, bend your knees, drop your hips, and just sweep your arms high. Utkatasana. Exhale, let's fold and bow, let it go. Inhale, reach long, long, long out of your hips, lift and lengthen. Exhale, step or jump it, high plank. Chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog, your version, open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog, pull it on back. Inhale, right leg high, bend the knee, roll your hip open. This time, right knee to right elbow, tricep, shoulder. And then lift it up again. And exhale, squeeze in, round in, hover in. And let's step forward, right foot steps. Spin the left foot flat for warrior one. Rise your way on up. Sink your hips down. Spread through the four corners of each foot. Spread through the four corners of your palms. And spread open through the big ball of your heart. Let's take a little back bend here. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart and swing open wide, warrior two. Inhale, let's reverse the warrior, big spread open through side body. And let's flow it on out, high to low, upward facing. You get your way back to downward facing dog. Anyway, your body takes you there. And left leg flows to the sky. And bend the knee and roll your hip open. And this time, left knee to left elbow, tricep, shoulder. And reach it on up, inhale. Exhale, squeeze in towards center. Step left foot forward, right foot spins flat. Rise your way up, warrior one. Just take a couple breaths with it to find your feet and your legs rooting into the earth, rising like the sun, rising right above the horizon. Take your back bend, lift your heart. Inhale. Exhale, swing wide, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, flow through vinyasa. Find your way. Work with your breath. Work with your attention. Downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Bend your knees, look forward. Spring step or float to the front. Reach out long. Exhale, bow. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Utkatasana, inhale. Exhale, rise up. And draw the hands to the heart, gazing down. Inhale again, swing it. Utkatasana, bend your knees, drop your hips. Pinkies roll in, thumbs out. Exhale, swan dive forward, lift, lengthen out, lengthen down. Inhale, reach long, lift and lengthen, belly strong. Exhale, find your way, downward dog through vinyasa. Upward facing, downward facing. Right leg flows to the sky. Bend the knee, roll your hip open. Right foot to left elbow, tricep, shoulder. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, squeeze into the middle. Inhale, step forward, warrior one. Exhale, swing wide, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale to side angle lunge, elbow to thigh, left arm swings over the ear. Wrap your left arm around your back for half bind and give that left shoulder a little circle out. And turn your heart toward the sky as you sink your hips deeper. Right knee opens toward pinky. For three, spinning, belly, ribs, heart, chest, last breath. And let's go ahead and find our way to our half moon Ardha Chandrasana. Right hand steps forward to pinky toe and take flight. Maybe your left arm launches skyward.
Find your core strength here. From the center, sun beaming out. If you like, you can bend your knee and reach back for your foot. Only if it's there for you. Take another breath. Gently step back, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Find your way back to down dog any way you can get there. Take your time. Follow your wisdom. Breath in and breath out. Nod your head yes. Shake it out no. Reconnect to the shoulders, drawing away from each other. Inner elbows rolling forward. Left leg flows to the sky and bend the knee and roll your hip open. Left knee to right, elbow, tricep, shoulder. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, squeeze in. Step forward, warrior one, inhale. Exhale, swing wide, warrior two. Inhale, reverse that warrior. Exhale, side angle, elbow to thigh. Right arm reaches. Shoulders drop away from ears. Take that big stretch for the right side. And then find your half bind. Right arm wraps around the back. Circle out that right shoulder. Turn from belly, ribs, heart, gaze. Feel the fullness of the pose for you in this moment. Maybe different from yesterday's. And we'll fly into our half moon. Take your block with you if you've got one. Hand can stamp right down on that block. But the energy is rising as well as rooting. So the left hand and the left foot are rooting, but you're rising up, up, up through the right fingertips, through the belly, through the heart, through the ribs, spinning to the sky, opening. Maybe back knee bends, and you take hold, maybe, for 3, 2, last breath. Step back, warrior two. Reverse your warrior, and we'll meet in down dog. Find your way gently. We're gonna rest in child pose, so if you're wanting to rush there, go ahead and draw your knees down and your feet wide, your feet together, your knees wide. Spread through the back. Take a sigh. Draw your shoulders down. Lengthen through the arms and just give your hips a little wiggle waggle, as well as your shoulders and your head. And in your timing, find your way to all fours. Left hand comes right under nose. Right arm floats skyward, breath in. Thread the needle, breath out. Right shoulder, right ear to the floor. Left arm extends long. And let's lengthen the left leg back. And if it feels okay for you, float your left leg into the sky. And if you like, lift your left arm skyward. You can come deeper into the twist, bringing the foot or the knee back down if you like, or stay with the leg floating, focusing more on that balance. Find your way with this. If you can, wrap your left arm around your back toward the front of your right thigh, hip, spin open through the whole central channel of your body. Last breath. Oh, let's gently unwind. Come on back to all fours and move it around. Head, hips, and shoulders. Get really creative and open with your moves, so that the energy just moves through your body. Right hand comes down underneath the nose. Left arm flows to the sky. Inhale, open up. And thread the needle, left shoulder, left ear to the floor. Right arm extends out long. You can stay here, and or you can lengthen your right leg back, and or you can float it to the sky. And if you want, you can reach the right arm skyward. Just take this in your own direction. Open. If you're twisting, really focus on a deep, slow, full twist. Maybe right arm wraps round toward front of left thigh. Maybe gaze goes to ceiling. See what's there for you.
One last breath. Feel the fullness of your pose, your chosen, created pose. And we'll release and find our way out. A quick rabbit pose. So come on the balls of your feet. Sink your hips back as if in child pose. And tuck your chin to your chest and bring your hands to the back of your neck and head and smooth out that space around your shoulders. You might even massage the shoulders. And bring the crown of the head and beyond to the mat if it's there for you. Really rounding the back of the chin to the chest and opening the back of the neck. If it feels good for you, hands can reach through the inner thighs. Really opening up those shoulder spaces, upper back. 3, 2, last breath. Gently release, come out, come into the toes pose, and just drape your fingers down your throat and lift the chin to the sky. And then come on up for camel pose. The fingers spread along across your chest and the hands reach back. Maybe they can make their way back to your heels. Maybe not. Maybe they just stay supported at your low back. But open, press your hips forward, lift your heart, drop your shoulders, spread your toes, and maybe stick out your tongue, open your mouth. Ha. Oh, gently release. Feet come down, tap the tops of the feet, curl the toes under, spread back to downward dog, right leg flows to the sky, bend the knee, roll your hip open, and we'll step the right foot forward. Warrior 1, inhale. Swing wide, warrior 2, exhale. Inhale, reverse your warrior, straighten your right leg this time. And hinge your way into triangle pose. So right side stays super long. Right hand comes down, maybe to your block, maybe to your shin, maybe to the floor. Belly draws in and turns skyward, just like in our half moon actually. And if you like, left arm can float skyward as well, big wingspan. Open this up through the heart and long through the whole spine, crown of head back through tailbone, last breath. Gently rise. This time we'll turn our toes in and our heels out, facing the side of the mat. And hands come to low back, just like in camel. Draw your elbows in close. Shoulders down, heart lifts, gaze goes up if it feels okay. Hinge the hips, fold. Hands make their way to floor, bow. Bow the head. Let it hang in reverence. Feel the plumb line going through your body so that the head gets released as the hips and the legs and the spine do as well. Big, slow, deep breaths. As alive through your legs as possible. You can bend them if you need to. As alive through your belly as possible, squeezing that belly in on exhales if you can. Last 2 breaths. See if you can deepen the pose somehow for you. Walk your way around to the front. We're going to go ahead and walk your right foot over to the left and come into our pigeon, sinking your hips deep. Take a moment. Let's curl our back toes under, and if you can, lift the back kneecap, just to open up that front of that hip. And take a moment as you're opening that to as well open your heart. Open your mind, let go of your thoughts and worries. And then finally, fold bow. Just surrender. And listen to your inner wisdom here. Keeping track of your breath.
Scanning your body for what it needs, how you can serve it best. Sinking your hips into the earth. Three more breaths. Maybe the back knee is still lifted off the ground, maybe not. Last breath in. Sigh it out. Find your way back. Downward facing dog. Just move it around nice and gentle. Lift your left leg to the sky. Bend the knee and roll your hip open. Squeeze into the center, knees to nose. Step left foot forward. Warrior one. Inhale, rise on up. Take a moment to really land into the feet, reconnecting to the legs and feet. And swing wide, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Straighten out your left leg. Hinge your hips back and reach, 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 long, 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 long through the left side. Left hand comes down, maybe to a block, maybe to the floor, maybe to your shin. And just open this pose your way. Take your time. Be expansive with your movements and your breath. Kind of slowing the practice down a little, but staying active and focused. One more breath. Let's rise. Turn your toes and your heels out. This time, interlace your hands behind you. Drop your shoulders, lift your heart. Draw your hands away from your back. Just take as much time here to form a little prayer out the heart for yourself, for someone you love. Maybe the gaze goes up. Exhale, fold bow. Let the head bow. Let the arms rise. Rinsing out those shoulders. Maybe a little movement through the arms and shoulders. Just for fun, switch the clasp of the hands so that you're in the one that is less remembered for your body. Just letting go more and more and more. Tweaking the pose in your way, being kind. Last breath. Release hands back to earth. Walk around to face the front, and then walk your left foot over to the right for pigeon. Dropping your left knee down. Staying on the ball of the right foot for a moment to just open up the kneecap and the leg and the heart. And in your own timing, once you have felt the opening of the heart and the hips, go ahead and surrender in and bow. Take your time. Treat yourself right here. And that might mean backing off, or that might mean pushing a little more than you usually do. You will know, you know what you need these days, right? Last two breaths. And we'll rise, and we'll just go ahead and swing the legs forward to have a seat on the mat and lengthen your legs out and just give them a little rub. And then bend your knees to draw the soles of the feet together and give your feet a little rub. And hold onto your ankles with your hands and just use that grab to lift your heart. You might even lean back a little bit. And let that heart just relax, and maybe the shoulders move to help that heart relax. Maybe the breath is what helps you open that heart, open your hips and thighs. Butterfly your knees a little bit if that feels good. And then hinge and fold forward over these legs. Elbows go wide to press into the legs. And you just take this slowly. There is no rush. Just extend long through your spine. Imagine your spine growing like a tape measure, reaching longer and longer. Crown of the head exploring what's in front of you. Root of spine rooting down through the hips and the base of the spine. And if you like, finally, you can bow your head and round out a little bit if that feels really good and right for you. Rise on up. Take hands to outer legs, and draw the knees in. Find your way to lying on your back. Lengthen your left leg out and squeeze your right knee in. And again, reach out through that left heel, that left side, and then point your toes on the left leg. And then launch your right leg up to the sky. And if this is not good for you, bend your left knee instead. You choose. But open up the back of the leg. Hand is supporting that leg. You could even rub with your hand on your leg somewhere. That feels good. And then take your leg into your right hand. You can also bend your knee here if you prefer and open the right leg out to the right. Using your right hand, you could also use a towel or a strap or a block or a shirt. You could also have your knee bent if that's better for you. Either knee can be bent. And then swing back up to center and we'll cross it over. Again, you could bend your knee or have it straight, your choice. Taking your twist. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, only if, bend your left knee and reach for your left foot with your right hand. It's a little bit of a twister pose, but it's very nice for those of you who can take this. Open the heart. Relax the neck and face and jaw. Spread through the outer back and hip. Last breath. Come on out of it. Come back to center and just rock side to side in knees to chest pose or a happy baby. And then keep the left knee hugged in and extend the right leg long. And reach out through that right heel and really lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Through the right leg, through the belly. Point your toes now and find a different angle of pull for the leg. So much going on in these legs. And then extend your left leg to the sky. And again, if you like to rub on the leg just to give it some extra TLC or some release or some energy. Some breath. You can also just have fun moving the feet around, pointing the toes, flexing the foot. Left hand comes to left leg either bent or straight, opens out to the side. You can also choose to bend your right knee if this is better or easier for you. Always an option. Find your big breaths. And then when you're ready, twist it across. Again, you can always bend that knee as it crosses into the twist. You choose. Focus on lengthening through the bottom leg and really opening through this left flank, the low back, the outer hip. You can use your hand to support that experience. You can rub your sacrum or your ribs or your belly. Just take a moment, feeling into this moment, this fullness. And we'll come back to center and find our way to our final relaxation pose, Shavasana. So if there's anything your body needs to do before that moment, find it. If there's any support your body needs, like something under your knees or a little blanket over your
body, something over your eyes. Take it. Find deep rest and a moment of real comfort for yourself, from yourself to yourself. And just let go of everything. Releasing all doing and thinking and coming into just being. Let there be peace. Let there be quiet. Take a bigger breath in. And let that exhale settle you in even deeper. And breath in. And breath out. Breath in a little bit deeper and slower and fuller. Breath out. Release. Let go. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Let your head roll easy side to side. Take another breath in and remember what you're appreciative of your life, for yourself. Breath out. Let your head roll easy side to side. And when you're ready, roll on your side and just curl up into a nice little ball of you. Really snug in and give yourself an actual hug because a lot's been going on lately. So really give yourself some love, a little pep talk perhaps, a kind word, an encouragement, an invitation. Let your forehead drop to the floor and let the stuff out that isn't serving you right now, that you don't need right now, that you don't need to access or worry about. Just make some space. Again, we're moving in towards a new season, so clear out the clutter and make space for what's to come.
Rise your way on up to seated. Have a seat. Find your length. Again, find your spaciousness. Just take a moment to bring your hands to your belly. Just a little rub around the belly. And then hands come to the heart. And a nice warm touch at the heart. Hands to the jaw and just smooth out the jaw, letting the jaw drop open with the weight of the fingers. And then hands to third eye. And pause there and just get lighter. And let's bow to one another and say namaste. Namaste.